guys, it's Emily from Novel Novels and welcome to my September wrap up, which is kind of my wrap up part 2 because I already did the wrap up for the Scooby-Doo-a-thon. Now I'm going to change things around a bit, guys. I'm going to do 2 wrap ups a month now because it turns out I'm reading a lot of books and I don't realistically think that if I try to talk about all the books in one wrap up, it means I don't get to really talk about the books and I'm rushing through them and I don't want to do that. So, this is part 2 and I will be continually doing this. So, next month I'm going to do a part 1 in the middle of the month sort of sometime. Not yet got an idea when. I think it might just be an offhand, I'll do it then when I've read a bit, when I know I've read quite a few books. So, do you guys want to get down to the figures? How have I done this month? I have superseded myself. I know I had 2 readathons, so I knew I was setting myself quite a big goals. I know that I've read quite a few shorter books this month, but the figure that I have read is incredible. I've read a total of 28 books this month. How on earth I've done that, I don't know, but I did it. So I've already done, like I said, I've already done my wrap-up, which was in the Scooby-Doo-a-thon wrap-up, which I will link below. So, and I obviously won't be talking about those books then, because like I said, it'll go on forever. So, since the Scooby-Doo-a-thon, and I read 1 book before the Scooby-Doo-a-thon, these are my ratings. Now, for starters, I read 1 audiobook, which was for the Fall Into Readathon, round 2, and I'll tell you the rating of that shortly. I DNF 1 book, which was The Woman Next Door. It was a library book. I read it recently. I tried to read it over the weekend and my head was not in the right place for it and I struggled. I think I got about 20 pages or maybe 30 in and I was just like, it's not grabbed me. It's not what I wanted, so I put it away. As to whether I try again, I don't know. Now, in this ratings, I will be including 1 book which I'm finishing off today because it's the 31st and I want to finish off. I'm so close to the end. How I put it down last night, I don't know. But circumstances are that I already know its rating, so I'll tell you about that shortly. So let's start off with the rubbishy book of the month. You guys are going to know the answer to this. It's Life of Pi. I rated it 2 stars. I blooming hated it. I am so sorry, Tia. We were buddy reading it together. And I'm sorry, Charlie, as well, because I know she liked it and I know she enjoyed it, but I didn't. I'm so sorry. I was expecting magical realism. I was expecting... Yes, I knew that that they were all going to be on the boat. There was like a zebra, a hyena, and a orangutan, and a tiger. And I thought, oh yeah, they might all get along. There might be a bit of magic. But no, there's a lot of gruesome bits in it. The start of the story I enjoyed slightly when you found out the history of Pi, about who he was and his information about how he sort of became him. That I found interesting. And I think the ending was quite good. But the bit in the middle was crap. How on earth I carried on going. I think the only reason I didn't put it down was because I was reading it for Clint's readathon, and you know I love you, Clint, so I kind of I felt like I had to read it for that and also for the buddy read. But I hated it. It's going to a charity shop, and I hope that someone else can find the magic where I didn't. I'm so sorry. I didn't like it at all. Going away, charity shop straight away. You know me and my piles of that. The next one is a 3-star rating, which is Waiting for Yesterday. This is historical fiction. It's set in the war times. Shirley Downs has always known she was an ordinary girl, but when she enters and wins a singing contest, she begins to realise her talent is really special. Now, I went into this thinking this was going to be mainly about her, magical sort of in the fact that she's going to find a career. But there was a lot of sub-characters that I found were, their storylines were more important than Shirley's, which confused me a bit. There was a lot of characters, and I just didn't really enjoy it. It is a good book in the fact that if you like historical fiction and you like sort of wartime books, then you could pick it up. But it's not one I would necessarily buy again. And I certainly wouldn't pay full price for this. I love certain characters in this, and there's like a family sort of storyline in this that I found was quite interesting. There were some characters you literally fell in love with. But I didn't like Shirley. I felt I hated her. She was annoying the hell out of me in this. Her romance, the way she treats the men in her life is appalling. How manipulative she is just bad. There is one character who I'm just going to try and see. Like, there was a guy, Joseph, who is very manipulative. There's Erelis, I can't remember, she's a Welsh sort of name, and she's a lovely character. She's one of Shirley's friends, and she's treated quite badly in this, but I liked her strength. I like the wartime bit of it. I found that could have been better, but this isn't that great. And for someone that likes historical fiction, I expected a lot more for this. So Charity Shop's going to have that one. Now the next one, I rated it 4 stars, and I'm now thinking, well, probably it should have been more 3.5. And this is The Prince in the Towers by Alison Weir. I like Alison Weir's writing. I didn't realise this was very non-fiction based, very non-fiction sort of thing. So it's a lot of factual information about the history between the princes in the tower and how it happened. Again, a lot of sort of pretty hard-hitting things. This really is accusing Richard of killing the twins and the boys, and I don't necessarily like that idea. Yes, it probably could have happened, but there are other things that could have happened. And I think when I read the Philippa Gregory book, which sort of tells you a bit about their mum, I think I just didn't enjoy it as much. I really wanted to enjoy this. It was a shorter book. The mystery and there's a lot of facts in it, but I think the factual side doesn't sort of, it's not as gripping. I don't know why. I just didn't like it as much as I thought, so it will be given away. And to me, that's really hard because I love Tudor books and I went into this expecting quite a lot. I will try again with Alison Weir because Julie raves about her and I really wanted to like this, so I will try again. But yeah, to me this is probably more 3.5 stars, not one that I necessarily will keep, because yes, it's great to hear about the facts about the princes in the tower, but again, didn't really grip me. I found it quite challenging, so I'm sorry about that, guys. I know I wanted to like it and I know some of you really did. Now I'm on to my 4-star rating books. I've not sort of stacked it in the order that I've written in, so I'm just going to have to try and remember where I get up to. The first one is Marley Me. I went into this knowing that it was going to be a weepy, and didn't it just. Non-fiction again, it is the John Grogan is telling the story about how he gets Marley, their life together as a family, and pretty much all of Marley's life until the end. And God, the end made me cry. There is some bits about family life in here that you're hard-hitting. I'm not going to sort of spoil you and tell you about it, but there's some stuff that us families and us mothers certainly go through that's really hard-hitting. And the way the dog comforts them. As a pet owner, I know that pets are absolutely amazing. And this dog, God, he made me smile. And you could totally remember, saw the film ages ago, and I certainly want to see the film again. It's brilliant. Marley is gorgeous. He's full of energy. He's full of love. He's there for them in the good times and in the bad, and I love this book. I think it's absolutely brilliant. Not necessarily one I'm going to keep because I think other people should read this, and I think I should share that and give that to charity shops, but definitely one I would recommend. If you like animals, if you're a pet owner, pick this book up and certainly see the film, but be warned, guys, it is a weepy, and yeah, it's really good, so I love that one. Now, the next one I'm picking up, I'm going to rate it 4 stars at the moment. I've still got to finish it. See, see if I can show you my bookmark. My Emily bookmark from Pastel Range Creations. I am only about 20 odd pages, 20, 30 pages from the end. But I'm going to include this because I know it will be finished today. It's the mum who got her life back. Now, she's in her 50s, this lady, her kids have just left for university. Nadia thinks, wow, I get my life back again. She can explore. She meets a gorgeous man who is called Jack. I love the name Jack. That's Thomas's middle name, so that was another reason. This is light-hearted. I don't know how it's going to end yet, but it's light. It tells you a story about their family. Like, her son comes back from university, and it's sort of gradually at the end you sort of find out why he quit university and why he came back. To me, he sounds like a spoilt brat, which is kind of giving me that's why it's sort of lost a bit of a star. It's a good chick lit. It's a good contemporary. Fiona Gibson is good at her cosy reads. I really enjoyed that part of it. I loved it. It was really lovely. It's quite a cosy book. I'm looking forward to finishing it. But yeah, definitely. If you want some books that are chick lit, if you like sort of books that are light-hearted, nothing... Yes, it does tackle some issues in it, but it tackles it in a really lovely way, and I love the front cover of this. So, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this or not, to be honest. This is a bit of a not sure on that one. But yeah, one I'm definitely going to like, so I'm going to have to sort of put it to a different pile, because this afternoon I'm going to finish it. Now, the next book I picked up from the library, purely and simply because you can see, for Emily. It's My Name. I couldn't not pick it up. In fact, if I was to see this book in a charity shop, I would actually buy this. It is that blooming good. I'm saying it's 4 star, but I would think more, to be honest, 4.5. Because The reason why it's not 5 stars is because it's not one. The writing's not brilliant. This is, I believe, it's Catherine Slee's one of her first books, so she's got room to grow. But she is a brilliant, brilliant author. And if you like sort of, if it's actually quite mysterious. I didn't expect it to be mystery. So a little dedication goes a long way. That's why Catriona Robinson, the country's favourite children's author, always dedicated her best-selling books to those who touched her life the most, not least her reclusive granddaughter Emily. Emily never thought much about these dedications, but when Catriona dies, unexpectedly, the cryptic clues lead to she finds out more about her grandmother, and I think it's written really well. Emily goes on a mission to find out more about her grandmother. Her grandmother never sort of told her loads of facts. She was so focused on caring for Emily that she never really told her Emily's history, and she closed up quite a lot. And I think this is a really lovely book. It's lovely. It's about families and the fact that, Emily has her reasons for being reclusive, and I won't tell you why. Look at the cat out of the video again. But it's really, really good book. It's mysterious. It's sort of about Emily going on a mission. Yes, you got a bit of the old chick lit romance in it, but it's really, really good book, and I really recommend it. I certainly will look for more of this lady's books in the charity shops, or maybe even if she puts one out, I'll certainly buy it, because she's got really good writing, and I believe she's got room to grow. She's an author that's quite new, and I would certainly recommend that you try this book, because it's good. If you like chick lit and you like a bit of mystery and sort of adventures, I think that's actually a lot more adventurous than you would have thought. Now, the next one is my Charlie poetry book. Yes, Charlie, you can have this book back now. It's a Ann Duffy. Charlie has raved about Ann Duffy's poetry for blooming ages. If you watch her channel, you'll know she loves her poetry. The World's Wife is one of the poetry books she's lent to me, and I love it. It's this one, her copy has actually got notes in it, not by Charlie, that notes aren't, but Charlie's written, but someone's actually written notes on it, which I actually find really interesting. You can see the little handwriting. She's probably got this from a charity shop, but there are some poems in here that are absolutely beautiful. There are some that I didn't like, that's why it's only 4 stars. But most of them are blooming good, and the way she writes is incredible. I'm so going to look for Ann Duffy. Yes, that's another thing I want to get myself, is a poetry book. I need to buy myself a decent poetry book. But Charlie, you can have that back now, and thank you for lending it to me. I really loved it. Charlie, hint, by the way, next haul that you'll let me borrow books, another one of your poetry books, please. There you go, good girl. Love you. Now, I believe I've got my last 4-star rating book. This is The Magic Faraway Tree. It would have got 5 stars if I would have read it in the right order, probably, because The Enchanted Wood is actually the first book, and I read it in the wrong order. I read the second book, not the first book. Yeah, The Enchanted Wood is the first book, so I've actually got the big blooming box of it. So I've got the 3 books in one, which actually I should have read probably, and I'm going to have to reread. But yeah, I read the second book for Clint's Readathon, and although I loved it, I didn't like it quite as much as I probably would have done had I read the first one. This is kids' books at their best. Enid Blyton is a blooming amazing writer. Her books remind me of childhood. Oh God, it reminds me of me and Charlie and Vix, to be honest. As children, we were very adventurous. We made stories in our heads that we told stories. We went on adventures. That is something in my childhood I will always thank Mum for. I will always thank you for. That you taught us to use our imaginations, and this reminds me of that. The kids are going on adventures to a faraway tree. How many of us would love to do that? This book is something that Mia would absolutely love, because her and Thomas really love. They make their own little worlds up in themselves, and you could see them making adventures out of nothing, things out of nothing, and stories they tell. And Mia tells of her characters of her books, and this is ultimately about things like that. So The Magic Faraway Tree obviously has quite a lot of stories within it. It's really good. Just realised the length of this video. I better get on. But yeah, I definitely love that, and that's getting kept. Now, first of my 5-star rating, The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. This is the second in the series, but it's still 5 stars. I've already read the first one. I definitely think, guys, if you want to read The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, read The Magician's Nephew first, because there are links from that into this that you didn't realise. There are stuff in this book that isn't actually in the films. It's blooming brilliant. I'm looking forward to reading the next book, but it is one I so badly recommend that you pick up. If you like kids' books, if you like magic, if you like children, if you like books, this is one. It's brilliant. I read that for another one for Clint's Readathon, but this is getting kept, and it's my copy. I love it. The next one is a children's classic I decided to pick up. I can't remember why I picked this one up. Little Princess. It wasn't on my TBR. It was on my shelves. It was one of my children's classics that got recommended that I pick up and read. It is one I certainly recommend to anyone. This is brilliant. Sarah Crew's father is made bankrupt, so she starts off and she's got everything, and then she suddenly loses it all and she ends up being the sort of slave in her boarding school that she was in. And it's amazing how her strength and her imagination, again, is really creative. She makes worlds, she supports others. Yes, she struggled, but her strength is just incredible. And I loved it. It's certainly one I need to look for the film on now because I loved it that much. Another kids' book. God, I forget the idea. I read loads. Hopefully, I might add them into next month. But this is the one I've only just finished. I've yet to actually put my review up, so that will only just gone up for this. Fantastic Mr. Fox by Roald Dahl. I didn't decide. I needed to have a kids' book to read at bedtime because I needed something to lighten me down at the moment, certainly to cheer me up. And I picked this one out of all my Roald Dahl books, and it's one that I actually don't think I read as a child. But it's blooming brilliant. It's fantastic. Mia could probably read that herself. It's so imaginative. Mr. Fox is hilarious. The characters in it are just amazing. The three blooming farmers and what Mr. Fox does is just hilarious. The characters in it are brilliant. It's well written. Roald Dahl is at his best in this book. It's one of his best in my opinion. Now the next book I am going to rave about. It is one of, I don't know if I put it on my favourites, but it is The Organised Mum Method. I did put it in my favourites actually, so again I'll link that video below. You guys know that I am quite an organised person. This book is about a lady who changed my life. She saved my life in so many ways because my house was chaotic. Having 3 young children, took a very long time to get it in order. And it was only someone recommending the Organised Mum Method I saw online somewhere. I started following her on Instagram and on Facebook. I started looking at her method. My lovely friend Anna printed out her printouts that I could use. So we all knew she was working on this book. I've got the book, I've got the app. This book is brilliant. It's one that I think the recipe's in it. I plan to keep this, I might even keep this in my kitchen or somewhere very safe because it's got so much information, so many cleaning tips, organisation. If you have sort of many mental health issues and you've got a house and you like order and organisation, this is a book that would be brilliant. Certainly pick this up. Follow Gemma Bray on Instagram and on Facebook. She's an amazing lady and I'm so impressed that she did this. And if she puts another book up, I'll certainly get it. She's amazing. Now I'm going to finish on, I think, my favourite book of the month. A Car So Dark and Lonely. I buddy read this with Clint. Actually, I finished it before him. Ha ha, I never thought I'd do that. Na, 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 na. Yes, I'm silly. I saw this on Chloe's channel and I saw this recommended by a few other people. It's a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. My gorgeous sister Charlie gave it to me. It's again on my favourites video. It's 5 star. It's amazing. If you like Beauty and the Beast, if you like retellings, if you like fantasy, pick this up. I'm new to fantasy actually. It's another genre I'm quite new to. But this is brilliant. It's about Prince Brian is the heir to the Emberville and he's cursed. He's forced to repeat the autumn year over and over. Yes, there's a beast in it. Harper's life has never been easy. She starts off lives her life in Washington, D.C. She has cerebral palsy. She has issues. But do you know what? She's the most strongest lady ever. And I love the way that the sort of Belle character is so strong and feisty. I love the writing of this. I'm going to be picking up another Bridget Kemmerer book from the library shortly because I've heard that this is not one of the that she's basically absolutely incredible. And I know there's a sequel out to this in January, which I've dropped hints about that I will be pre-ordering if no one buys it for me because I want it very badly. I've got to pick it up. It will be one that will be probably one of my first January books, which I know me and Clint are buddy reading together. But yeah, love this book. So guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and not subscribed yet, ring on my ding-a-ling and let me know what your favourite book of the month are and how your reading's been this last month. Good luck guys and thank you all for your support. Love you all. Bye bye.